It's 2016. It's 2016. It's a whole new year. It's a new year for opportunities and a new you. That's two things right off the bat. I think I'm going to do the real good resolution, and that's just lose weight. Eat a little better, I want to better myself. I've lost weight before. I've gained and lost the weight before, and the nice part about it is when you have a system, it works. Like for me, I'm gonna get up at 6 every day and run 3 miles. Get up at 6, start jogging, I think that you have the whole rest of your day ahead of you. I can't start today because it's Sunday. So I'm gonna start on Monday, start a whole new week, start a whole new system. As long as you set up a goal and a system, that's all that really matters. Once you have that goal, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. All you gotta do is commit. You just gotta commit to it, Next Monday, 6 a.m. next Monday. I'm gonna do it next Monday. All right, man, you going home? All right. I'll see you next year. Oh my gosh, I'll see you next year. It's New Year's Eve. You're not going to hang out? Well, I guess I'll see you next year. This is the triumphant return of the Great Big Picture Show. 2016 is the first video of the year. And what a year it's going to be. 2015 was the little baby birth of the Great Big Picture Show. Now we're heading straight for the stars. I got a great bevy of videos coming up for you guys for some very heavy-hitting awards contenders, and the first of which is this video right here, right now. We're going to be doing Quentin Tarantino's 8th film, 8 out of 10 as far as he says, The Hateful Eight. Now, most of you out there who know the name Quentin Tarantino, I would imagine, know of the gigantic cult surrounding the filmmaker. Those of you who don't, let me fill you in, huh? Quentin Tarantino is a genre-bending, charismatic filmmaker with an overabundance of style who is very, very well known for his dialogue and his characters. It is his unbelievable skill at world building, character development, and overly cartoonish violence that has garnered him such a huge fan base. Honestly, the guy just makes pure entertainment. And all of those contributing factors into his canon are on glorious display in The Hateful Eight, if not showing a little bit of age. Now, The Hateful Eight is his second Western in a row after the gigantic and explosive Django Unchained. We have 8 hateful strangers stuck out there in the snowy snow, locked in a cabin together, and as time pours on, we soon realize that not everyone is quite who they seem. Now, Quentin's writing is in full form here, fleshing out his characters to beautiful effect with great detail and nuance, and it just is a great example of what a great character and world builder he is. Numerous times throughout my viewing of the movie, I just caught myself time and time again just being completely overwhelmed by his skill and his charisma and the amount of detail and exuberance he takes in making his characters and the world around them. I just don't know if there's another modern day filmmaker who makes... that takes the same amount of care and detail in his characters and makes them as entertaining as they are, leaving them with very humanistic traits while also blowing them completely out of proportion. But while talking from a writing standpoint, with this movie, plot-wise. I would say that the movie plays a few of its cards a little bit too early, sacrificing possible tension or suspense that could have blown up had it been dealt with a bit differently. With The Hateful Eight, as always, Quentin Tarantino has brought together a cast to really bring these characters to life and shed some very, very thick colors to this dirty, dirty world. It's as if whenever his movies come out, the cast that is announced is just like, oh, Kurt Russell, oh, Samuel L. Jackson, Jennifer Jason Leigh, oh, Walter Goggins, oh. I would say the absolute standouts are Walton Goggins, who looks as though he came out of his mother's womb destined to be in a Western for the rest of his life. And if not that, destined to be in a Tarantino movie, from which I've read he also attributes as well, Quentin Tarantino. Ping! Walton Goggins is fantastic and deals with the dialogue beautifully and raises the tension, slows the pace when it needs to be, and screams the pace when it also is just very exciting. The other really huge standout is newcomer to Tarantino's world is Jennifer Jason Leigh. Man. She plays the disgusting and dastardly Dorothy Domergue every D in the world. She's just such a despicable character while still keeping you completely concentrated on her the whole time, and I think that attributes to Jennifer Jason Leigh's instincts, whether it be licking the blood off her lips or spitting on people or just the pure attitude that she has. You literally can't take your eyes off of her. If you go and see the movie, just watch her in the background and see what she's doing. Just brilliant. Now, all that praise is not to say that the rest of the cast doesn't hold their weight at all, because they absolutely do, with beautiful returns from the likes of Kurt Russell, who we haven't seen in a while, playing the Hangman. What a mustache. Wow. We also have Tarantino regular Samuel L. Jackson, who's always reliable, always charismatic. Quentin Tarantino just knows his actors and trusts his actors and knows his characters so well that he just allows them to make them their own, and it's just a joy to watch them all just kind of play. Now, I saw my showing in the very highly publicized 70mm format. Now, no doubt, it certainly gives the movie a sense of grandeur and really makes the whole thing feel like an event, just like any time Quentin Tarantino makes a movie. The movie itself opened with an overture, which was a very, very nice template to herald a return from Ennio Morricone for doing the score, and he's very famous for doing a lot of the scores for famous spaghetti western movies in the past. There's even an intermission. The movie runs about 3 hours and 7 minutes in this format, so it's a bit of a walk. But short of that stuff, the actual literal print itself, I do feel like would lend itself to a movie better suited for it. At the front of the movie, we get about 2 to 3 minutes of really beautiful shots of scenery, lush mountains, beautiful snow and trees and everything. And the film really does accentuate that. But for a movie that's running about 3 hours and over 90% of that time is spent within the confines of the cabin, it doesn't really lend itself too much to the film print outside of just giving it a very dusty, textured feeling. So I would say with the 70mm print, don't go see it unless you're a diehard film fanatic. If you are a diehard film fanatic, please go and see it. And also on the topic of looking back and nostalgia and using past things, as I mentioned before, I do feel as though the Tarantino formula feels as though it's showing his age a little bit. It's getting a little bit stale. Just the format and the confines in which he tells these stories remain the same, and it does give you a sense that he's just treading over the same tracks he's treaded before. He continues to use the chapter format. He continues to use scenes out of order. And it could very easily just be that we're trying to find cracks in the Mona Lisa at this point. But at a certain point, it does feel like you're watching Quentin Tarantino go over the same tricks that he's effectively used his entire career. And it does feel like it's been worn a bit. Ultimately, though, you come to a Tarantino movie to get a certain thing, and you get that with The Hateful Eight. We have beautifully realized characters with charisma and human personality. And the movie itself also is a very nice magnifying glass on racial tensions post-Civil War. It pays attention to those themes and those feelings and really elevates them to the story and makes them very, very relevant to our time right now. And honestly, it's those attentions to detail in his direction and his writing that make Quentin's movies such an event whenever they do come around. And while this time the event does feel a little bit like rehashing old ideas, that doesn't change how entertaining it absolutely is. I'm going with a soft yes on The Hateful Eight. That is my recommendation. I do think you should see it. A lot of it's kind of hard to stomach, but there's no denying how entertaining it is and how skillfully crafted it is. Just sit and enjoy it. 2016 is going to be a big year for the Great Big Picture Show. I can feel it all the way down to my tippy toes. This is the Great Big Picture Show. I am Spencer Howard Belden. Welcome to 2016. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a good night. And for the beginning of the year, I hope you hug someone. Please hug someone that is close to you or not. But start your year out right. Bye, see you next year.